A very good morning to Madam Nurul Ain and my fellow friends. So I am from Group 5 and I will be talking about medical waste. My name is Gracianne Poorani Bosco, daughter of Velusamy, and this is my matrix number BG20110030, and I am from section 101. A few key facts about medical waste is that every year 5.9 million tons of medical waste are produced per year. And every year as well, 16 billion syringes and needles are used. But not all of them are disposed well. Apart from that, not all medical waste are hazardous. Only 15% of medical waste are considered hazardous. And that is also if they are disposed incorrectly. Now, a brief definition of medical waste is that any waste that is infectious or has the potential to be infectious. Now, most medical waste come from a physician's office, hospitals, dental practices areas, laboratories, or medical research centers. Now, here are a few types of medical waste. The first one we have is biohazard. Biohazard waste is anything that has been in contact with blood. For example, a blood bag or syringe or gauzes or any kind of cotton that has been used in surgery where it has been been in contact with blood, that is considered a biohazard waste. And the second one we have is regular waste, where it is a few examples of regular waste are gloves, IV bags, dressings, and napkins. The third one, which is a little self-explanatory, is sharps. Sharps is anything that is sharp, such as syringes, needles, blades, and scalpels. And the fourth one we have is pharmaceutical waste, where it is things such as vials, capsules, tablets, or eye drops. So, in other words, things you get at a pharmacy, basically. And the fifth one is hazardous pharmaceutical waste, where a few examples of this are inhalers with residual and also unused nicotine, gum, and patches. Okay. Now, the risk of medical waste if it is not disposed properly. These are just a few risks of medical waste if they are not disposed properly. So the first one we have is injuries to sharps. So this is most common for people who are dealing with waste, such as hospital cleaners or people who are working in landfills. If such sharps, syringes, and other sharp medical waste are not disposed properly, it could cause injuries to people who are handling such waste. And the second one is chemical burns, where if certain chemicals or medicines, alcohols are not disposed properly, in severe pressure and temperature, it can cause a negative impact on people and cause burns on them. And the second is radioactive burns, where instruments and equipment that used UV rays or X-rays could also cause radioactive burns through the same effects of chemical burns, where if they are exposed to severe sunlight or severe temperature and severe pressure, it could cause a radioactive burns to people around it. And the fourth one is air pollution. Air pollution is usually when medical waste are incinerated, and if such smoke or fume is not disposed properly after it is being burned, that can cause air pollution. Water pollution is if medical waste are not disposed properly, it could go into the sea and also the oceans and destroy the sea life. Now, the most common thing we hear about is our mask, where it is not disposed properly and it ends up in the ocean and it is getting stuck between the legs of certain birds, aquatic birds, and also some big fishes tend to consume them in a few ways because they look like food to some fishes. And the last one is soil pollution, which I personally feel it's the worst risk of poorly managed medical waste, as when medical waste are disposed poorly on a landfill, it could those chemicals and radioactive substances could cause soil pollution as they are absorbed into the soil. And so I think this is the biggest risk of medical waste to the environment. And these are ways how medical waste are disposed. The first one is incineration by burning. The second is autoclaving, where they use high pressure and temperature to sterilize such waste before disposing them. So when they dispose it, it is clean and sterilized, and any medical effects or any hazardous infections on it would not be harmful to the environment after on. The third one is microwaving. Fourth is chemically disposing it, and the fifth is biologically disposing it. Yep. And now for the solutions. These solutions are basically what we as consumers can do. The first one is to use reusable face mask. Although we have to wear a mask every time when we go out now, I would prefer that if we used a cotton mask or any kind of reusable mask where you can wash it over with disinfection liquid and warm water, it would be better than to use a single-use disposable mask. And the second one is for medical officers, doctors or nurses to use biodegradable gloves instead of normal surgical gloves. Now this is when they are done with their surgeries or to just check up on a patient. Such gloves can also be biodegradable, so they don't just remain as rubber gloves or latex gloves throughout the entire next few million years. And the third one is for pharmacies, where instead of giving medical prescriptions in plastic bags, they could give their prescriptions to patients and customers with paper packages. So these are just a little ways where we as a community can help to reduce the effects of medical waste to the environment. Thank you.